Hi, Analisa 6 here with the Sober Curator and Lady of Leosure, giving you the horoscopes and astrology for December of 2022. I can't believe that this year is already almost over. I feel like it went by super fast. I feel like a lot happened. I feel like nothing happened. Yeah, it's just been a weird 2022 is nothing like what I expected it to be. I feel like I feel that way every year, but I feel like I had a lot of expectations out of this year that did not go the way that I was hoping. So hopefully 2023 is a little bit better. I have zero expectations. I am setting myself up for success by just hoping that it's just a good year in whatever way it decides to be a good year. And I highly advise you all do the same. We have a lot of energetic shifts happening in 2023, and I'm not going to get too into those on this thing, because we're just talking about December right now. But we start out December in Sagittarius season every single year. So happy birthday to the December Sagittarius people out there. It's also Capricorn season, the last half of December. So happy birthday to the December Capricorns. We're going to start out the month with Mercury and Sagittarius. And that's only going to be the first week of December before it moves into Capricorn for the rest of the year, the rest of December. So Mercury in Sagittarius, it's not a strong place for Mercury. It's considered to be its detriment because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. And so, whenever a planet is in a sign where it's not the ruler, it sometimes operates in a little bit of a funky way. I personally don't mind Mercury in Sagittarius, but I think part of that's because my Mercury placement's in my ninth house, and I also am a Sag rising, and so I really tend to get along with people with Mercury and Sagittarius. But Mercury represents our communication, it represents travel, it represents how we think about things. And so, I think that when Mercury is in Sagittarius, we can sometimes feel a little bit ungrounded, but it can also inspire us to want to grow past our comfort zones and experience new things, whether that's in a book, in a class, or actually physically going to a new place and experiencing something new. So we've all been under that influence through the last half of November. So if we've been feeling a little bit more like we need freedom or expansion or growth or breaking out of our mundane reality or routine, Mercury has been kind of helping us with that. It looks like, let's see, that's going to be December 7th. It looks like Mercury moves into Capricorn. And Capricorn's a lot more grounded and a lot more pragmatic and practical. It also really enjoys tradition. And so it might be possible for some of us, depending on where Capricorn is in our charts, that we feel really motivated to get a lot done for the rest of December before the year's over. It might also be one of those times where people that used to really, or maybe regularly don't like tradition or convention, might lean more into some of the traditions of the end of the year and whatever that means to you. It could be a family tradition, it could be stereotypical holiday traditions. I personally am not religious, but ever since becoming a homeowner, I've really just embraced kind of the holidays in my home, because it reminds me of my grandma, who passed away she passed away right before we bought our house. And so there's something about carrying on her legacy in my home that feels good to me. Like, it feels kind of like a way to honor her. And so that's a way that I think Mercury and Capricorn could play out for somebody like me, that's not religious, but is finding kind of this comfort in some of my old family traditions. That might be the case for you. And it could mean something else. Capricorn's also very success and work oriented. So those that have a lot of work right now might feel that kind of pressure to get a lot of that done and to get organized and to just kind of plow through the rest of the year in whatever way you need to. So that's also going to be enhanced by Venus this year. So Venus has also been in Sagittarius with Mercury. The last half of November, they entered Sagittarius within a day of each other. So they've been pretty close. They were also a part of that new moon that we had, which is very auspicious, on the 23rd, that we talked about in the last video series. And I personally really like Venus in Capricorn. I see Capricorn as being kind of a boss, and Venus is, considered to be a very good fortune planet. So I think it's a really good energy for the holidays specifically. since, you know, there's a lot of materialism during this time, and there's a lot of people kind of, you know, stressing out in that way. And sometimes we desire connection, even though it can also be overwhelming. I just think Venus is kind of helping us out in terms of feeling more connected in a positive way to maybe the things going on around us. I hope so. I know it's different for everybody. It depends on where it is in your personal chart, but having Venus and Mercury together in Capricorn, and with the sun in Capricorn at the end of the year, I think it's going to be a nice energy for us. I personally like Capricorn energy. A lot of people don't. Capricorn can also have a lot to do with needing to be responsible and really getting your ducks in a row. And so people that avoid that, people that are avoiding responsibility, people that are avoiding mundane reality, it might be really hard because you might see yourself having to focus more on becoming responsible and organized in a way that you don't really want to do during the holidays, but it's really beneficial to do that. It's beneficial to kind of be structured for the end of the year in a way that is grounding. Mars is still going to be retrograde in Gemini, so it'll be moving through 18 to 9 degrees. So it's going all the way back to 9 degrees. So if you have anything in Gemini or anything in your chart at 18 through 9 degrees, Mars is going to be aspecting that. So we're all going through it. I'm sure most of us have something that's getting hit by Mars this year. So again, it's not really a time to take a lot of action around big changes or big plans. It's time to reflect and review, and again, getting those ducks in a row so that when January comes and we don't have any retrograde planets, and like the end of January is going to be a really good time to start moving things forward. So we're still in kind of like the setup mode. Jupiter is officially direct. It went direct at the end of November in Pisces, and it's going to be making its last little bout through the last 2 degrees of Pisces for the first half of December. So Jupiter is going to be entering Aries. It looks like on the 20th or 21st. I'm using the ephemeris, so the timing might be different depending on what time zone or part of the world you're in. But, you know, it's officially going to be entering Aries either the 20th or the 21st of December. And it'll be in Aries for about a year. Let's see. It's going to make its way into Taurus a little bit this coming year too, but then it'll go retrograde and go back into Aries. So we will have a period of Jupiter in Taurus, it looks like, in the summer through the fall, and it'll go back into Aries in the fall of next year. Oh, maybe not. I am wrong. It actually stays in Taurus. So we're going to have a very short stint of Jupiter in Aries, which is actually pretty interesting. So Jupiter will be in Aries, it looks like, until May of 2023, and then it's going to enter Taurus. And we had that going on this year too. We had a lot of Jupiter going back and forth through Pisces and Aries. So we have had a lot of Jupiter Aries energy this year. So it makes sense in that way. Okay, so then Saturn is in Aquarius pretty much for the rest of the year and the first part of 2023. So we don't need to get into that too much because we've already been in that bubble, but there's going to be some people ending their Saturn return and some people beginning their Saturn return. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus still, nothing new there. Neptune is still retrograde in Pisces, but it will be going direct at the beginning of December. So by December 4th, Neptune will be direct in Pisces. I'm looking forward to Neptune going direct in Pisces because I think it's going to make some aspects that are a little bit easier on me personally. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Pluto is going to be in Capricorn still, which it has been forever. So we don't need to talk about that right now. But that's your kind of overall review on where everything's at for December. And then I'm going to be going through these for the horoscopes for each sign, but our 2 moons that we have for December, we've got the full moon at the beginning of December. It looks like it's on December 7th. I'm just making sure I have the right information here. The ephemeris says December 8th, and my Llewellyn says December 7th. Probably depends on where you're at time zone wise and on the planet, but we have a full moon that's going to be at 16 degrees of Gemini on the 7th. And then we have a new moon that is going to be on December 23rd at 1 degree Capricorn. So that's our new moon. So those are our placements for December. There's obviously a lot of transits going on too, but you know, trying to keep this as basic as possible. And the videos will start with Aries. I do everything in order because I have my Mercury in Virgo, and so order is very important to me. But yeah, that's December's astrology for you in terms of the planetary placements. And I look forward to seeing how it goes and wish you all a happy holiday and however you celebrate or don't celebrate. You can find me at ladyofleosure.com and thesobercurator.com.